Please welcome Janae Hawkins.
You've got to.
Good morning! I can't hear you. Good morning! Yes, good morning. It's day 2, and I have been looking forward to this moment. I have the pleasure of introducing the dynamic women who lead organizations represented by many of you in our audience, like Bloomberg, yes, Cognizant, Hanover Insurance Group, Athleta, and Stitch Fix, yes. So 2 years ago, we challenged our makers at board to make pledges that were not only measurable, but would spark intense conversation across the country and their companies. But 2 years ago, we were really impressed, but this year we were blown away. Our makers at board rose to the challenge again and pledged to do even more in their companies. So in just a moment, you'll hear from founders, CEOs, SVPs, and VPs who are all very intentional about leaving an imprint on this world. We hear so much about policies around diversity and inclusion and even pay parity, but our board members are committed to making these changes internally and implementing these policies. So the great news is our makers at board keeps growing and growing. And what does that mean? There are a lot of women for you to hear from. So this year we're doing things a little differently, and you'll hear from 3 groups of board members, and they're going to stand on the stage between today and tomorrow and give their pledges. Sounds good? I can't hear you. Sound good? All right, are you ready for the first group? Are you ready for the first group? Everybody, all the companies in the audience, folks watching the live stream, give it up and stand up if you can for the 2020 Makers at Board of Directors.
I'm no copycat. I own style. I'm just where it's at. I own life. I'm no copycat. I own style. I'm living it up. I ain't giving up on me.
Good morning.
I will not achieve high glow.
Good morning. I'm Alex Kohlauer, the Vice President of Organizational and Effectiveness for Sleep Number, and my Sleep Number setting is a 35. We plan to advance our diversity and equity inclusion success through initiatives, including conscious inclusion training for every leader at Sleep Number, and as we speak, we are launching a well-being and self-identification survey to all of our team members so we truly know how our team members identify. We've added a belonging index to our annual engagement survey, which will launch in July, and we've also created a toolkit for all of our team members that lead people on how to lead in inclusive ways. And last, we will achieve gender balance in our stores by 2025.
Hi, everybody. Nicole Jenkins, Managing Director at UBS, and
I'm Deirdre Bigley. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Bloomberg.
we are so happy to be able to share a joint pledge with you today. So 2 years ago, right here at Makers, a group of women from UBS and Bloomberg got together with the idea to change the face of finance, one girl at a time. From that moment, UBS and Bloomberg collaborated and brought girls together from diverse backgrounds to learn more about the capital markets and inspire the next generation of female leaders.
In March 2019, we kicked off Girls Take Wall Street in New York by bringing 120 girls to discussions at UBS and Bloomberg, and then to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange to ring the closing bell. Late last year, we expanded to 2 locations in India. In 2020, we pledge to expand the Girls Take program to 13 major cities, including New York, London, Singapore, Shanghai, Johannesburg, and Sao Paulo. This collaboration, born at Makers, serves as a model of how we can bring together like-minded institutions to create a better world for women and girls.
Hi, I am Holly Gordon, the Chief Impact Officer at Participant Media. Participant is one of the producers of the new film Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx, about Brian Stevenson, woo, the founder of the Equal Justice Initiative. EJI is committed to ending mass incarceration in the United States and challenging racial and economic injustice. We're not done. A new era of truth and justice starts with confronting our country's history of racism. Participant pledges to take our entire company to Montgomery, Alabama, to experience EJI's Legacy Museum, which explains the evolution from slavery to our current mass incarceration crisis, and to visit the Memorial for Peace and Justice, which marks the period of racial terror in this country when 4,400 African Americans were lynched. We hope our visit inspires other companies to make a visit to EJI part of your official diversity and inclusion efforts.
Woo! Hi, everyone. I'm Sadie Thoma. I'm a director at Google. Google pledges to increase global representation of women and women of color through hiring, career development and progression, retention of talent, and creating a culture of inclusion and belonging for everyone. In 2019, our representation of women increased by nearly 1 percentage point year over year. Our hiring of women rose almost 2 percentage points, and women were less likely to leave Google than average. At a company of nearly 120,000 people, those do represent significant gains. In 2020, we're doubling down to keep moving the needle. We are not done. We will scale our women's leadership programs, conduct our annual pay equity analyses and adjustments, and continue to publish and share our workforce representation data publicly.
Hi, my name is Chiaki Nishino, and I run the North American business and also lead the global women in leadership effort at Profit. In 2019, Profit had established 2 different types of sponsorship programs as part of our effort to create gender equality at our leadership levels. And I'm proud to say that at the junior partner level, we are 49-51 women and men, which we're super proud of. But we do have a lot of effort to still make the leadership at the more senior levels. So in 2020, we're doubling down on advancing and accelerating the number of women in these senior leadership positions. And we'll do this by continuing to drive more inclusive behaviors, practices, and sponsorship, as well as by having at least 50% of candidates be women for both external hires as well as internal leadership positions. Additionally, we are striving to make Profit a career destination of choice for parents by easing the process of coming back from parental leave, which we all know is a hard time of transition, and also enhancing our leave policies. And we'll make ourselves accountable by reporting on the key metrics to the firm overall, to our executive committee, and to our board.
Hi, I'm Nikki Bell. I'm SVP Global Client Partnerships at RGA. This year, RGA pledges to increase the retention of women of color by 25% by creating a more inclusive environment that embraces real conversations about race and prioritizes career development.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Lewis, and I'm the U.S. CEO of and I'm proud of the progress that we've made as an organization across women in leadership positions, with over 50% of those leadership positions held by women, now including our global CEO. However, we are very much not done yet, specifically as it relates to people of color. So this year's pledge at doubles down on a pledge that we've made over the past few years, but is very specific around leadership. At we pledge to increase senior level representation of women of color by 25%.
Woo!
Good morning. I'm Sheila Shekhar-Pollack. I'm the CMO at Athleta, and we were here last year, so we're honored to be on the board. Last year, we pledged to unleash women's and girls' confidence and their limitless potential by harnessing our physical and digital platforms to create access to transformative, holistic wellness experiences. Our Wellness Collective events and content in partnership with Well and Good brought to life 4 key pillars of wellness with insights from over 50 female thought leaders, focused on mind, body, community, finance and career, and self-care. This was for hundreds of women in New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, and millions more through digital content across both our own and Well and Good's vehicles. But we're not done. This year, together with Allison Felix, we will bring the power of She to life in a new, invigorated platform. And while I can't share all the details yet, we will reinforce the power of an inclusive collective by launching a 360-degree, 365 days a year platform to bring together millions of women and girls to unleash their limitless potential.
Good morning. My name is Ijenu Udeza Mosu, and I'm with Kaiser Permanente, and I'm the Executive Director of Impact Spending. So the rich diversity of Kaiser Permanente's workforce reflects the rich diversity of its patients, members, and communities. Of our 250,000 employees, physicians, et cetera, nearly 65% of the organization's workforce are members of racial, ethnic, and cultural minorities, and nearly 75% are women. In 2020, which is our 75th year of existence, we are committed to driving equity and inclusion in the communities we serve. We pledge to increase our spend with women-owned businesses in our footprint and encourage the vendors in our supply chain to do the same. We will be the change that we want to see.
Good morning. I'm Allison Tuman Campos, and I'm the Global Gender Equality Project Leader at Procter Gamble. At P&G, we aspire to a world free from gender bias, one with equal voice and equal representation for all individuals. So we will keep leveraging our voice in advertising and media to spark those conversations that can motivate change. And we're also going to keep working together with many of you to remove barriers to girls' education and women's economic opportunities. Inside P&G, we are committed to 50-50 at all levels of the organization, and we're making progress. We've started, and we're at 50-50 at more junior levels in the organization, and now over 40% of our board of directors and senior leaders are women. But we are not done. Let's be clear. In the year ahead, we will challenge the myths and false narratives we see that are holding women back in the workplace, and we're going to create an equal and inclusive workplace with equality-minded leaders, both inside P&G and with makers and many of the other board members here. We're going to do that in our industry and workplaces around the world so we can close that gender gap you saw earlier this morning and have everyone contribute to their full potential. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I just want to do something really quick. Can all the women of color stand up, please, and the men of color? I want you to know that I see you, and I thank you for being in the audience, and my pledge is to support all of you in a different way. Thank you. You can sit down. So I did that because I wanted to open up by saying, and first of all, I'm Tiffany R. Warren, Senior VP, Chief Diversity Officer for Omnicom Group, and President of AdColor. So I did that, thank you. I did that because presence does not equal power, but something powerful happens when we are present. And so I'm here to announce that together with your participation, the AAF and AdColor, along with Omnicom Group, seek to respond to yet another industry challenge, identifying expert talent to participate as speakers and panelists in the industry's many conferences, seminars, webcasts, and discussions with the formation of the APEX, a Multicultural Speakers Bureau. The APEX will fill the void of the blatantly obvious missing perspectives of multicultural professionals who work within the creative industries. The APEX will ensure that there is a source for those who want to authentically include these vital voices in their thought leadership initiatives, events, and programs. Our goal is to launch the APEX with at least 100 multicultural professionals who have expertise in various industry disciplines. If you know of any or would like to partner with us, professionals of multicultural descent who should be invited to be part of the Apex, come see me over the course of the conference. I am proud to be a Makers board member, and I thank Makers for their intentionality and their intersectionality this year.
I'm Christy Pambianchi, and I'm the Chief Human Resource Officer from Verizon. Woo! Moving the world forward takes more than the best technology. It takes the best people. At Verizon today, we're very proud of the fact that 60% of our workforce is represented by women and people of color. And that's true at the top 2 management team levels in the company. In addition, the top 2 levels in the company have 40% women, up from 27% just a year ago. But we are not done. And so I stand here today and I pledge that we will continue to do all the efforts that we've been doing to increase recruiting, advancement, retention, and development of our women and people in the company. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Again, give it up for the first group of Makers at Board of Directors. Thank you.